गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। प्रातः स्मरामि हृदि संस्फुरदात्मतत्त्वम् सच्चित्सुखं परमहंसगतिं तुरीयम् यत्स्वप्नजागरसुषुप्तमवेति नित्यम् तद्ब्रह्म निष्कलमहं न च भूतसङ्गः वासुदेवेन्द्रयोगीन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुं मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधोऽधीयते। साधनचतुष्टय सम्पन्नाधिकारिणां मोक्षसाधनभूतं तत्त्वविवेकप्रकारं वक्ष्यामः। साधनचतुष्टयं किं? नित्यानित्यवस्तुविवेकः, इहामुत्रार्थफलभोगविरागः, शमादिषटकसम्पत्तिः, मुमुक्षुत्वं। नित्यानित्यवस्तुविवेकः कः? नित्यवस्त्वेन ब्रह्म तद्व्यतिरिक्तं सर्वम् अनित्यम्। अयमेव नित्यानित्यवस्तुविवेकः। विरागः कः? इह स्वर्गभोगेषु इच्छा। शमादिसाधनसम्पत्तिः का? शमो दम उपरम स्थितिक्षा श्रद्धा समाधानं च इति। शमः कः? मनोनिग्रहः। दमः कः? चक्षुरादिबाह्यनिग्रहः। उपरमः कः? स्वधर्मानुष्ठानमेव। तितिक्षा का? शीतोष्णसुखदुःखादिसहिष्णुत्वम्। श्रद्धा कीदृशी? कीदृशी? गुरुवेदान्तवाक्यादिषु विश्वासः श्रद्धा। समाधानं किं? एकाग्रता। मुमुक्षुः किं? मोक्षो मे भूयाद् इति इच्छा। एतत् साधनतुष्टयं ततस्तत्त्वविवेकस्याधिकारिणो भवन्ति। तत्त्वविवेकः कः? आत्मा सत्यं तदन्यत् सर्वं मिथ्येति। आत्मा कः? स्थूलसूक्ष्मकारणशरीराद्व्यतिरिक्तः पञ्चकोशातीतः सन् अवस्थात्रयसाक्षी सच्चिदानन्दस्वरूपः सन् यस्तिष्ठति स आत्मा। स्थूलशरीरं किम्? पञ्चीकृतपञ्चमहाभूतैः कृतं सत्कर्मजन्यं सुखदुःखादिभोगायतनं शरीरम् अस्ति। जायते, वर्धते, विपरिणमते, अपक्षीयते, विनश्यतीति षड्विकारवदेतत् स्थूलशरीरम्। सूक्ष्मशरीरं किम्? अपञ्चीकृतपञ्चमहाभूतैः कृतं सत्कर्मजन्यं सुखदुःखादिभोगसाधनं पञ्चज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि, पञ्चकर्मेन्द्रियाणि, पञ्चप्राणादयः मनश्चैकं बुद्धिश्चैका एवं दशाकलाभिः सह यत्तिष्ठति तत् सूक्ष्मशरीरम्। श्रोत्रं त्वक् चक्षुः रसनाघ्राणम् इति पञ्च ज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि। श्रोत्रस्य दिग्देवता चो वायुः, चक्षुषः सूर्यः, रसनाया वरुणः, घ्राणस्य अश्विनौ इति ज्ञानेन्द्रियदेवताः। श्रोत्रस्य विषयः शब्दग्रहणं, त्वचो विषयः स्पर्शग्रहणं, विषयः रूपग्रहणं, रसनाया विषय रसग्रहणं, घ्राणस्य विषयः गन्धग्रहणम्। वाक्पादपायूपस्थानीति पञ्चकर्मेन्द्रियाणि। वायो देवता वह्निः, हस्तयोरिन्द्रः, पादयोर्विष्णुः, पायोर्मृत्युः, उपस्थस्य प्रजापतिः इति कर्मेन्द्रियदेवताः। वाचो विषयः पाण्योर्विषयः वस्तुगणं, पायोर्विषयः मनम्, पायोर्विषयः मलत्यागः, उपस्थस्य विषयः आनन्द इति। कारणशरीरं किम्? अनिर्वाच्यानाद्यविद्यारूपं शरीरद्वयस्य कारणमात्रं सत्स्वरूपज्ञानं निर्विकल्पकरूपं यदस्ति तत् कारणशरीरम्। अवस्थात्रयं किम्? जाग्रत् स्वप्न सुषुप्त्यवस्थाः। जाग्रदवस्था का? श्रोत्रादिज्ञानेन्द्रियैः शब्दादिविषयैश्च ज्ञायते इति यत् सा जाग्रदावस्था। स्थूलशरीराभिमानी आत्मा विश्व इति उच्यते। स्वप्नावस्था केति चेत् जाग्रदवस्थायां यत् दृष्टं यत् श्रुतं तज्जन्यतवासनया निद्रासमये यः प्रपञ्चः प्रतीयते सा स्वप्नावस्था। सूक्ष्मशरीराभिमानी आत्मा तैजस इति उच्यते। अतः सुषुप्त्यवस्था का? अहं किमपि न जानामि, सुखेन मया निद्रानुभूयत इति सुषुप्त्यवस्था। कारणशरीराभिमानी आत्मा प्राज्ञ इति उच्यते। प्राज्ञ इति उच्यते। पंचकोशाः के? अन्नमयः, प्राणमयः, मनोमयः, विज्ञानमयः, आनन्दमयश्चेति। अन्नमयः कः? अन्नरसेनैव भूत्वा अन्नरसेनैव वृद्धिं प्राप्य अन्नरूपपृथिव्यां यद् विलीयते तदन्नमयः कोशः स्थूलशरीरम्। प्राणमयः कः? प्राणाद्याः पञ्चवायवः, वागादीन्द्रियपञ्चकः पञ्चकं, वागादीन्द्रियपञ्चकं, प्राणमयः कोशः। मनोमयः कोशः कः? मनश्च ज्ञानेन्द्रियपञ्चकं मिलित्वा यो भवति स मनोमयः कोशः। विज्ञानमयः कः? बुद्धिज्ञानेन्द्रियपञ्चकं मिलित्वा यो भवति स विज्ञानमयः कोशः। आनन्दमयः कः? एवमेव कारणशरीरभूता विद्यास्थमलिनसत्त्वं प्रियादिवृत्तिसहितं सत् आनन्दमयः कोशः। एतत् कोशपञ्चकम्। मदीयं शरीरं, मदीयाः प्राणाः, मदीयं मनश्च, मदीया बुद्धिर्मदीयम् अज्ञानमिति स्वेनैव ज्ञायते। तद्यथा मदीयत्वेन ज्ञातं कटककुण्डलगृहादिकं स्वस्माद् भिन्नं तथा पञ्चकोशादिकं स्वस्माद् भिन्नं मदीयत्वेन ज्ञातमात्मा न भवति। आत्मा तर्हि कः? सच्चिदानन्दस्वरूपः सत्किं कालत्रयेऽपि तिष्ठतीति सत्। चित् किं? ज्ञानस्वरूपः आनन्दः कः सुखस्वरूपः एवं सच्चिदानन्दस्वरूपं स्वात्मानं विजानीयात्। अथ चतुर्विंशतितत्त्वोत्पत्तिप्रकारं वक्ष्यामः। ब्रह्माश्रया सत्त्वरजस्तमो गुणात्मिका माया अस्ति। ततः आकाशः सम्भूतः, आकाशाद् वायुः, वायोस्तेजः, तेजस आपः, अब्धयः पृथिवी। एतेषां पञ्चतत्त्वानां मध्ये आकाशस्य सात्विकांशात् श्रोत्रेन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्, वायोः सात्विकांशात् त्वगीन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्, अग्नेः सात्विकांशात् चक्षुरेन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्, जलस्य सात्विकांशात् रसनेन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्, पृथिव्याः सात्विकांशात् घ्राणेन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्। एतेषां पञ्चतत्त्वानां समष्टिसात्विकांशात् मनोबुद्धहङ्कार चित्तान्तःकरणानि सम्भूतानि। सकल्पविकल्पात्मकं आत्मकं संकल्पविकल्पात्मकं मनः, निश्चयात्मिका बुद्धिः, अहं कर्ता अहंकारः, कर्तृ चित्तं, मनसो देवता, चंद्रमा। I think we did till the seventh, organs of perception.
Yesterday, Hari Om, that I read the tabular column. One is the organ of perception, organ of action. I put it in the chat. The organ of action actually from rajasic aspect of the five elements, not the sattvic aspect. Only sattvic aspect is the sense organs. So I just want to clarify that because we read it from the tabular column, it was right under the sattvic aspect. So we didn't read about karmendriya, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah. Dhanyavad. Yeah. That is very nice. Yeah. So this, it was over, right? Till here, Tanmatras and this all, it was over. The evolution of the Sattva aspect.
We read this also, the organ of perception. If we go down the tabular column.
Yeah. When we repeat this, organs of perception.
Yeah,
or
we read until that part. Yeah, next one is this one. What is this one is?
It is this Panchatattvanam, Samashti Sattvikamsha, Mana Buddhi Ahankara.
Oh, okay. That's for the Antakarana. Okay. After this, Antakarana comes.
So this table also, I think we had completed. Organ of action and perception.
Yeah, we read up to until the table, I think. After that, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think we read the after that.
I'll quickly browse through this text. The evolution of the sattva aspect, the organs of perception. एतेषां पञ्चतत्त्वानां मध्ये आकाशस्य सात्विकांशात् श्रोत्रेन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्, वायोः सात्विकांशात् त्वगिन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्, अग्नेः सात्विकांशात् चक्षुरिन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्, जलसात्विकांशात् रसनेन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्, पृथिव्याः सात्विकांशात् घ्राणेन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्. of this Panchatattvanam Madhye of the five elements, Akashasya of space, Satvikamshat from the Sattva aspect, Shrotrendriyam, sense organ of hearing, Sambhutam was evolved, Vayoho of air, Satamshat from the Sattva aspect, Tvagindriyam, organ of touch, Agnehe of fire, Satvikamshat from the Sattva aspect, Chakshurindriyam, organ of sight, Jalasya of water, Satvikamshat from the Sattva aspect, Rasanendriyam, organ of taste, Prithivyaha of earth, Satvikamshat from the Sattva aspect, Granendriyam, organ of smell, Sambhutam is born. Etesham Panchatattvanam Madhye Akashasya Satvikamshat Shrotrendriyam Sambhutam Vayoho Satvikamshat Tvagindriyam Agnehe Satvikamshat Chakshurindriyam Jalasya Satvikamshat Rasanendriyam Prithivya Satvikamshat Granendriyam Sambhutam. Among these five great elements, out of the sattvic aspect of space, the organ of hearing, the ear evolved from the sattvic aspect of air, the organ of touch, the skin evolved. From the sattvic aspect of fire, the organ of sight, the eye evolved. From the sattvic aspect of water, the organ of taste, the tongue evolved. From the sattvic aspect of earth, the organ of smell, the nose evolved. The subtle elements, tanmatras, create the sense organs, which too enjoy the same degree of subtlety. The main characteristic of sattva guna is knowledge. Naturally, the sense organs of perception born from the sattvic aspects of the five elements. Each element has its own special quality to perceive it. The corresponding sense organ is called to perceive its special quality. For example, from the sattvic aspect of space, the sense organ of hearing is created to perceive the sound. Evolution of the organs of action and perception are summarized in the following chapter. So there are five elements: space, air, fire, water, and earth. Space has sound aspect, sense organ is ear, deity is space, Dig Devata. Faculty is hearing, organ of action is tongue, deity is fire, ability is speech. From air, the aspect is touch, sense organ is skin, deity is air or vayu, faculty is feeling, organ of action is hands, deity is indra, abilities grasping objects. From the fire element, the aspect is the form, sense organ is eye, deity is sun, Surya, faculty is seeing, organ of action, legs, deity, Vishnu, abilities, locomotion. From water element, the aspect, taste, sense organ, tongue, deity, water, Varuna Devata, faculty, tasting, organ of action, genitals, deity, Prajapati, ability, procreation. From the element of earth, aspect is smell, sense organ is nose, devta is Ashwini Kumaras, faculty is smell, smelling, organ of action is anus, deity is death, Yama, ability is eliminating waste. So how all five elements, it is so well systematically created. Should I read further, or you want to have some discussion on five elements and their every aspect, ability?
This is clear, Belaji.
Okay, okay, okay. So just give me 2 minutes. एतेषां पञ्चतत्त्वानां समष्टिसात्विकांशात् मनो बुद्ध्यहङ्कार चित्तान्तःकरणानि सम्भूतानि सङ्कल्पविकल्पात्मकं मनः निश्चयात्मिका बुद्धिः अहं कर्ता अहङ्कारः चिन्तनकर्तृचित्तं मनसो देवता चन्द्रमाः बुद्धेः ब्रह्मा अहङ्कारस्य रुद्रः चित्तस्य वासुदेवः. Etesham of these Panchatattvanam of the five elements, Samashti Sattvikamshat, the total Sattvic aspect, Mano Buddhya Hankara Chittanta Karanani, the inner instruments of the mind, intellect, ego, and memory. Sambhutani are formed. Sankalpa Vikalpatmakam of the nature of indecision, Man, mind. Nishchayatmika, the nature of decision. Buddhi, the intellect. Aham karta, the notion of doership. Ahankar, ego. Chintana kartru, thinking faculty. Chittam, memory. Manas, of the mind. Devata, presiding deity. Chandrama, moon. Buddhehe, of the intellect. Brahma, Brahma. Ahamkarasya, of the ego. Rudra, Chittasya, of memory. Vasudevaha. Etesham panchatattvanam samashti sattvikamshat mano buddhyahankara chittanta karanani sambhutani sankalpa vikalpatmakam manah निश्चयात्मिका बुद्धि अहम कर्ता अहंकार चिंतन कर्तृ चित्तम मनस देवता चंद्रमा बुद्धेः ब्रह्मा अहंकारस्य रुद्रः चित्तस्य वासुदेवः. From the total sattvic aspect of these five elements, the inner instrument of the mind, intellect, ego, and memory are formed. The mind is of the nature of indecision. The intellect is of the nature of decision. The ego is of the nature of the notion of doership. Memory is of the nature of thinking or recollection. The presiding deity of the mind is the moon, of the intellect, Brahma, of the ego, Rudra, and of memory, Vasudeva. So beautiful. The 10 sense organs are called the outer equipment, Bahishkarana, as they receive knowledge about outside objects and respond to the world. The mind receives sense perceptions, cognizes them based on previous experience, and commands the senses to respond. It is called the inner equipment, Antakarana. The mind cannot contact the world directly. It has to go through the senses. The senses also cannot function without the prompting of the mind. Hence, there is a close relationship between them. They function in coordination. Each sense organ perceives only its particular sense object. The mind receives information from all of them. It understands sound, touch, form, taste, and smell. It also feels emotions and thinks thoughts. It is the seat of all knowledge and therefore made from the sattvic aspect of all the five elements. The inner equipment is a continuous flow of thought modifications, vritti. It is classified into four according to the different functions it performs. The same person is called a singer when he sings and a dancer when he dances. The four categories are Manaha, the mind, thoughts in a state of volition constitute the mind. Should I see the movie or not? Maybe I should do so tomorrow. Will I get a ticket? This state of vacillation continues till a decision is made. Emotions also constitute the mind. A person dominated by his mind cannot make quick decisions and is often swayed by his emotions and moods, likes and dislikes. The moon is the presiding deity of the mind. The phases of the moon keep changing like the mind. How the moon affects the mind can be seen in a lunar moon, asylum. Mental disturbance in patients is seen to increase on new moon and full moon days. Most psychosomatic diseases also worsen during that time. Buddhi, the intellect, thoughts. Buddhi is the intellect. Thoughts in a state of decision constitute the intellect. Reasoning, observation, conclusion, etc., are functions of the intellect. One dominated by the intellect is called a rationalist. He or she can think logically and decisively, but one must be careful not to become a dry intellectual bereft of tenderness. The presiding deity of the intellect is the omniscient creator Brahma. All knowledge and creative ideas arise in the intellect. Brihaspati, the guru of the Devatas, is also considered the deity of the intellect, as it is the guru who gives us knowledge. Surya, the sun god, is also considered to preside over the intellect. Ahankara, the ego, the thought, I am the doer, is the ego. The ego does not mean it is the sense of individuality or the notion of doership. Some are proud while others are not. But have the notion of doership, X, a realized person, and the Lord. The mind, intellect, and memory, remembered thoughts, keeping changing, but the ego is there with every thought. It owns them as I doubt, I decide, I remember, my anger, my idea, etc. It comes into being with each thought. The mind, intellect, and memories of each one differs. But the ego is all the same. It connects the pure self to the three bodies, five sheaths, and the three states as I am fat, I ate, I slept well, etc. Rudra, the one who makes all cry, is the deity of the ego. Do we not suffer because of the ego. Rudra, Shiva, is the lord of destruction. With the death of the ego, all suffering ends. The last is Chittam, the memory. The function of reflection and recollection is the Chittam. All experiences are stored as impressions and can be recollected like the data bank of a computer. It is based on this information alone that we can think. Vasudeva, Vishnu, is the deity of the Chitta. Vishnu is said to wield Sattva Guna. Only when we are calm and sattvic can we clearly reflect and easily remember facts and events. So it is about the Antakarana. Should we do Manana on this and then go further? The 10 sense organs, the Bahirkarana we have seen, and now this is Antakarana, which constitute the mind, the intellect, the ego, and the chitta, or the memory. I'm sure Mrunalji must be enjoying because it is so much with each deity and each.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Kindly share, all of you, please, your understanding, as this is so very important.
In fact, I don't mind reading this again, please, if possible. Otherwise, we can continue. I can read on my own also.
No, we can read, definitely. We can read again. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. So, from the total sattvic aspect of these five elements, the inner instrument of the mind, intellect, ego, and memory are formed. The mind is of the nature of indecision. The intellect is of the nature of decision. The ego is of the nature of the notion of doership. Memory is of the nature of thinking or recollection. The presiding deity of the mind is the moon, of the intellect, Brahma, of the ego, Rudra, and of memory, Vasudeva. The 10 sense organs are called the outer equipment, Bahishkarana, as they receive knowledge about outside objects and respond to the world. The mind receives sense perceptions, cognizes them based on previous experience, and commands the senses to respond. It is called the inner equipment, Antakarana. The mind cannot contact the world directly. It has to go through the senses. The senses also cannot function without the prompting of the mind. Hence, there is a close relationship between them. They function in coordination. Each sense organ perceives only its particular sense object. The mind receives information from all of them. It understands sound, touch, form, taste, and smell. It also feels emotions and thinks thoughts. It is the seat of all knowledge and therefore made from the sattvic aspect of all the five elements. The inner equipment is a continuous flow of thought modifications or vritti. It is classified into four according to the different functions it performs. The same person is called a singer when he sings and a dancer when he dances. The four categories are mana, the mind. Thoughts in a state of volition constitute the mind. Should I see the movie or not? Maybe I should do so tomorrow. Will I get a ticket? This state of vacillation continues till a decision is made. Emotions also constitute the mind. A person dominated by his mind cannot make quick decisions and is often swayed by his emotions and moods, likes and dislikes. The moon is the presiding deity of the mind. The phases of the moon keep changing like the mind. How the moon affects the mind can be seen in a lunatic asylum. Mental disturbance in patients is seen to increase on new moon and full moon days. Most psychosomatic diseases also worsen during that time. Buddhi, intellect, the intellect. Thoughts in a state of decision constitute the intellect. Reasoning, observation, conclusion, etc. are functions of intellect. One dominated by the intellect is called a rationalist. He or she can think logically and decisively, but one must be careful not to become a dry intellectual barrel of tenderness. The presiding deity of the intellect is the omniscient creator Brahma. All knowledge and creative ideas arise in the intellect. Brihaspati, the guru of the Devatas, is also considered the deity of the intellect as it is the guru who gives us knowledge. Surya, the sun god, is also considered to preside over the intellect. Ahankara, the ego, the thought, I am the doer, is the ego. The ego does not mean pride. It is the sense of individuality or the notion of doership. Some are proud while others are not, but all have the notion of doership, except a realized person and the Lord. The mind, intellect, and memory, remembered thoughts, keeping changing, but the ego is there with every thought. It owns them as I doubt, I decide, I remember, my anger, my idea, etc. It comes into being with each thought. The mind, intellect, and memories of each one differs, but the ego is all the same. It connects the pure self to the three bodies, five sheaths, and the three states as I am fat, I ate, I slept well, etc. Rudra, the one who makes all cry, is the deity of the ego. Do we not suffer because of the ego? Rudra, Shiva, is the lord of destruction. With the death of the ego, all suffering ends. Chittam, the memory. The function of reflection and recollection is the chittam. All experiences are stored as impressions and can be recollected like the data bank of a computer. It is based on this information alone that we can think. Vasudeva, Vishnu, is the deity of the Chitta. Vishnu is said to wield Sattva Guna. Only when we are calm and sattvic can we clearly reflect and easily remember facts and events. Should I read further or we want to have some manana about the aspect? Antakarana.
I think this was very clear. We can read further, please.
Okay,
At least for me.
yeah. Yeah. If anyone would like to share, just let me know. Yeah. The evolution of the Rajas aspect. एतेषां पञ्चतत्त्वानां मध्ये आकाशस्य राजसांशात् वायुन्द्रियं सम्भूतं वायोः राजसांशात् पाणिन्द्रियं सम्भूतं वह्नेः राजसांशात् पादेन्द्रियं सम्भूतं जलस्य राजसांशात् उपस्थेन्द्रियं सम्भूतं पृथिव्या राजसांशात् गुदेन्द्रियं सम्भूतम् एतेषां समष्टिराजसांशात् पञ्चप्राणाः सम्भूताः एतेषां of these मध्ये among panchatattvanam the five elements akashasya of space rajasamshat from the rajasic aspect vagendriyam organ of speech sambhutam was formed vayoho of air rajasamshat from the rajasic aspect panindriyam organ of grasping sambhutam was formed Vahne of fire, Rajasamshat from the Rajasic aspect, Padendriyam, organ of locomotion, Sambhutam was formed. Jalasya of water, Rajasamshat from the Rajasic aspect, Upasthendriyam, genital organs, Sambhutam was formed. Prithivya of earth, Rajasamshat from the Rajasic aspect, Gudendriyam, anus, Sambhutam was formed. Etesham of these, Samashti Rajasamshat, total Rajasic aspect, Pancha Prana, the five pranas, Sambhuta, were formed. एतेषां मध्ये पञ्चतत्त्वानाम् आकाशस्य राजसांशात् वागीन्द्रियं सम्भूतं वायोः राजसांशात् पाणीन्द्रियं सम्भूतं वह्नेः राजसांशात् पादेन्द्रियं सम्भूतं जलस्य राजसांशात् उपस्थेन्द्रियं सम्भूतं पृथिव्या राजसांशात् गुदेन्द्रियं सम्भूतं एतेषां समष्टिराजसांशात् पञ्चप्राणा सम्भूता. Among these five elements, from the rajas aspect of space, the organ of speech is formed. From the rajas aspect of air, the organ of grasping, the hands are formed. From the rajas aspect of fire, the organ of locomotion, the legs are formed. From the rajas aspect of water, the organ of procreation is formed. From the rajasic aspect of earth, the anus is formed. From the total rajas aspect of these five elements, the five vital airs, pranas, are formed. I read once again. Among these five elements, from the rajas aspect of space, the organ of speech is formed. From the rajas aspect of air, the organ of grasping. The hands are formed. From the rajas aspect of fire, the organ of locomotion, the legs are formed. From the rajas aspect of water, the organ of procreation is formed. From the rajasic aspect of earth, the anus is formed. From the total rajas aspect of these five elements, the five vital airs, pranas, are formed. Rajoguna is characterized by activity. So wherever there is activity, it is the manifestation of the rajasic aspect of Maya. The five organs of action respond to the world by activating the body and the five pranas. Um, Kshamyatam. The five organs of action respond to the world by activating the body, and the five pranas supply power to all the functions of the body and keep it alive through the physiological functions. Hence, both are the manifestations of the rajasic aspect of the five elements. The unmanifest condition of the five elements and the three qualities is the causal body. The manifestation of the sattvic and rajasic aspects of the five elements constitutes the total subtle body or the subtle world. Now, the manifestation of the tamasic aspect is described. I read once again for the Karana Sharira, the last paragraph. The unmanifest condition of the five elements and the three qualities is the causal body. The manifestation of the sattvic and rajasic aspect of the five elements constitutes the total subtle body or the subtle world. Now, the manifestation of the tamasic aspect is described. So, with Rajoguna aspect of Maya, all the five organs.
One, sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt.
this
One question is
actually.
coming up. This through karmendriyas, no? Five karmendriyas, how the five deities, five elements are connected with our jnanendriyas, no? Same way, five elements are connected with karmendriyas also. So, earth and water is very clear, but I wanted to know about our hands and all other three and how they are connected with the elements. Can somebody explain, please?
Mm, yeah, the space part, the organ of action. Um,
Hands.
right. I'm going with the space first because that the tongue, right, that walk. I mean, speech comes. But when the air, through the vayu, that rajasic aspect of the five elements, right? Like air is the mm, hand, like when you grasp the hand, like grasp objects, that's a hand. You want the deity for the hand is Indra, and then whereas the fire, the fire element of rajasic aspect of the fire element is the leg, and the ability is the locomotion, and the Vishnu is the god. Is that um, we did talk about it, we tried to remember something like this.
So from the
uh,
fire, the movement comes.
hmm?
Movement of legs.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's,
okay, okay.
I mean, rajasic aspect of the fire, right? That's what this line shows here, like um, five elements. The legs comes from that part here and along that same line. So I'm thinking that's what that is. And the genitals, we say the secretions and all that, right? So
Correct,
then
correct.
the water connects with that. So the legs is the fire, and the genitals goes with the water, and Prithvi goes with the animal, which eliminating the waste.
Yeah, Jal and Prithvi is very clear. These
Mm.
other three, I was little bit confused.
The
Like,
hands, like touch, the feeling, right? So when you touch something, you feel what it is. That the touch sensation through the vayu. So that the same way that when you grasp objects, like you have that feeling, when you touch an element. I mean, that's the understanding I felt. Or anybody else can talk about that as well. Like if you touch, like say for example, tomato, you know how it feels. Like it's not always firm. It may be a little bit softer inside, and you know how when you touch it, even with closed eyes, you can tell this is tomato, or with the smell. Or I mean, of course, all the senses can give you with the form and smell, and or when you see it, but then uh, in terms of the hand part, that goes with the touch. That's mostly that's what we do, right? With the touching, is that goes with the vayu because the air takes that form. Like when in the wind touches you, you know it's a really like a cold wind or hot wind, or really a breeze. You can differentiate it. I mean, you just read the Raju aspect, right? Biology, you read the whole paragraph of that one, right?
Yeah, Rajas aspect,
Can
correct,
you
of
can
Maya.
you go to the
Yeah.
first
Thank you
paragraph
so
on
much.
that one? One
Thank
second.
you so much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And but the thing is, I just wanted to 1 second. Like here, no, not that part. Like the Rajo aspect of the uh, yeah.
Those two paragraphs, can we read them again, please?
Yeah,
Raju?
let me read one more time. I'll read. Can you go up again? No, go up. Rajas aspect. No. Yeah. Scroll up. Mm, I don't want the sloka. Yeah, from here I'll read this. Among these five elements, from the Rajas aspect of space, see, this is what Madhuriji. So, among these five elements, okay, from the Rajas aspect of the space, organ of speech is formed. From the Rajas aspect of the air, the organ of grasping, the hands are formed.
Hmm.
From the Rajas aspect of fire, the organ of locomotion, the legs are formed. From the Rajas aspect of water, the organ of procreation is formed. From the Rajasic aspect of the earth, the anus is formed. From the total Rajas aspect of these five elements, the five vital airs, the pranas, are formed. So, along with these five karmendriyas, the five pranas also are formed from the Rajasic aspect. Whenever we say Rajoguna, it indicates the activity, right? So, any action, so that's why the organ of
Yes.
action, as well as the prana, five pranas, which is the prana, apana, vyana, samana, and udana. So, all those five pranas included in here. Rajoguna. So let me read this paragraph one time. The Rajoguna is characterized by activity. So wherever there is activity, it is the manifestation of the Rajasic aspect of Maya. The five organs of action respond to the world by activating the body. Okay, the five organs of action respond to the world by activating the body, and five pranas supply power to all the functions of the. Can you scroll up, please, or scroll down, or whatever? Uh, yeah, that's fine. Uh, so, five pranas supply power to all the functions of the body and keep it alive through the physiological functions. Hence, both are manifestation of the Rajasic aspect of the five elements. So far we read about Rajasic aspect, and
I
then
could,
yeah,
Maharaji, I could
yeah,
understand all the elements what
mm,
they provide, but
right.
fire, how it initiates locomotive. That is
Same thing is in my mind
Okay.
also.
I am
that
thinking.
that one
Okay.
was hindering me.
Okay.
Others I
This
can
is
understand.
okay. I am the way I am thinking
Some
is
explanation is needed here,
yeah.
especially legs and hands, how they are connected with fire and
No,
air.
hand is okay because a hand is a touch, and air.
Okay.
We can
The
feel the air. No, we can feel the
the
air. In
fire I
fire,
am thinking is connected with the signals. The electric signal, like because it's the big muscles, right? Say for example, you want to go to the temple. Okay, you want to go by walking. So you the thought arises in your mind. What happens? The brain, the cells your leg to walk. So the electric signal has to come from the brain at the muscle. So for that electric signal has to initiate the function of the muscle. The muscle by itself doesn't function. I mean, this is the thinking that goes behind it, because that includes this thermal activity or whatever we can call
yeah,
it
I
as
feel. You
electrical
see
activity.
that engine moves
Yeah,
locomotive with the
right.
fire.
Fire.
Steam engine also. I think okay, I understood now.
Do you
That's
do
good.
you see what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
am
yeah,
trying to
yeah, yeah.
connect, like, medically speaking, but even medically speaking, you need that action, coordination of the
No, you
nerves
need that
and muscles.
fire of
Yeah,
energy, to move
move. Yeah.
locomotive. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Locomotive, see, steam engine was moved only by the steam
Fire only.
engine. Fire.
You need energy. Your fire
No,
energy is
scientific reason.
connected
No,
into
I was connecting the
kinetic
scientific
energy.
reason. The
So
kinetic
here,
energy that fire gives, so the
yeah,
locomotive
the
it moves.
electrical, yeah, when
Got
we
it, got
say
it,
our
got
fire
it.
in our body is each place different type of
Fire,
fire.
yes.
Digestive fire in when the
Digestive
food is
Digestive
fire,
getting
yes,
fire.
yes, yes, yes.
digested.
Ego is
And
also a
this,
fire for
Hmm.
yeah,
the
but our
body.
body has to be maintained in certain temperature, right?
Yeah.
That itself the fire only, the agni in the body, because all these metabolic things that's going on and all that stuff. So
Got it,
the
got it, got it. I was
yeah.
only
Mm.
holding there, but okay.
No,
Now I am
yeah,
clear.
I know.
Steam engine.
Initially, I had
No,
that
steam
question
engine,
too.
locomotive, fire.
Mm,
That's it.
yeah.
Yeah,
So you
Jai
can
Gurudev.
remember it like that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Nice explanation,
Mm,
Dr. Mara. The
yeah.
thing
Mm,
for us, what we
mm,
understand as the five elements is
mm,
the tamasic aspect, the gross elements. We relate to that: space, air, fire,
r-
water, earth. But that
yeah,
is
this
only
is
the
subtle
tamasic
element,
aspect.
right?
That is
Yeah.
that is the grossified form of the five elements. But what
Right.
is being explained is the sattvic aspect and the
No,
rajasic aspect.
this, yeah, Rajasic
So,
aspect. Yeah.
so those are not really uh, kind of comprehensible. They are, like, we understand the all the three gunas are there in all these five elements. Sattva, rajas, tamo, gunatmika, maya asti. And from there, the pancha tattvani, all the pancha mahabhutas arise. So we have to understand that the subtlest form of the pancha mahabhutas, that is the sattvic aspect, you get all the five jnanendriyas, and the samishti sattvikamshat, you get the mano, buddha, chitta, antakarana. And then from the rajasic aspect, that is the movement aspect of the five elements, we should set aside our understanding that the mahabhutas are the physical fire that we see or the physical water that we understand. That is the tamasic aspect. So from the movement aspect of the five elements, you have all the karmendriyas that develop. That is why, see, from the fire aspect, you have the eyes that develop. There is that tejas, that the from the sattvic aspect of the fire, you have the
chakshu that develops. So the same question can arise, oh, how come eyes develop from the fire aspect? Correct? So that is only for our um, uh, I think we need to set aside our understanding of the Panchamahabhutas as just the grossified elements and understand that
Yeah, this is
two
only
other
the
aspects
subtle.
to them.
Yeah, right.
But see,
Definitely.
how
But
eyes burn and all, no? You can make it that the eyes are connected with fire.
No, that way even the stomach has a burning. If you have gastritis, you
No,
have
no.
feeling of burning there.
No,
So
the fire gives the light, no? The light.
Fire
So
gives the
that
light.
gives, that only makes the eyes. When you have a fire, you get a light. And we see it. That is the eyes.
yeah,
I think so, that
true.
way.
That is true. So maybe when we understand it that way, then we will not have this maybe little confusion as how come from fire locomotion. But a very beautiful explanation that Dr. Mara has given.
Yeah, very, very good.
yeah, I agree, Dr. Brahmara. Like subtle aspect, you cannot see it. You cannot see it. These functions are happening inside our body. That I was only thinking more of medical terms rather than how it's explained in here. But still, as you said, yeah, we are not talking about gross one, right? Yeah, this is very subtle function that you cannot see.
But still understanding these aspects and connecting them to the elements, no? It
Right.
brings more puja bhav and
You
dispassion
connect
also.
with it. Yeah, you
Gratitude
can
and
relate.
dispassion also.
You
That
can
is why
relate
it is,
well.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is
Mhm.
important to understand and go more deeper into it. Then distancing ourselves becomes more easy.
Yeah,
I
the
think so. It's
one
very
quick
important
thing,
step.
Madhuriji, the other day you were asking about Anandamaya, right? Anandamaya, can we explain how this works, the bliss? There was one example they gave about eating globe jamun when you're, or one sweet, that you are one with it, or ice cream. I don't know what you were talking about that day, but the thing came to my mind was, in Indian tradition, when you have a wedding function or some really like Seemandam or something, they give you nice food, right? All the guests who come,
Hmm.
when they eat, they are all happy. Happy in the sense, then, that's how they bless. I felt more like Atmic. Uh, what do you call atmartha, like blessing, like when you're so happy with their mind, uh, hopefully they're blessing the couple or the person with good wishes. It really comes from their heart, so that I felt that Anandamaya Kosha was like relating to that food exam. I thought I'll just, yeah, thanks. So you want me to read this last four lines? The unmanifest condition of the five elements and the three qualities, is the causal body. Unmanifest condition of the five elements and the three qualities is the causal body. Hmm. We thought it didn't have five elements.
What are these unmanifest conditions of five elements?
We thought it was impressions, right? But here it says five elements, which is those five elements, Panchaputas, right? The manifestation of sattvic and rajasic aspects of five elements constitute the total, subtle, and or the subtle world. Okay. So the manifestations of sattvic and rajasic aspects of five elements constitute the total, subtle body or subtle world. Now the manifestation of tamasic aspect is described. Okay. So in Karna Sarira, when we read, we didn't, I don't know, we read
Is
about
it
like it was made of 5 elements, right?
yeah, maybe the samskaras, unmanifested samskaras. Is that so, Brahmaraj?
Unmanifest, yeah, unmanifest samskaras. But they get just 3 qualities too. So causal bodies also has those 3 things, 5 elements plus 3 qualities, according to this.
Belaji, you are there?
Yes, dear. You want me to read the shloka?
Are you going to read further? Or
No, if you can go ahead and read also, it will be very nice, Mrinalji. Please go
all
ahead.
right. Okay, thank you. The evolution of the tamasic aspect. Etesham panchatattvanam tamasamshat panchikruta panchatattvani bhavanti. Panchikaranam katham iti chet. Etasham panchamahabhutanam tamashamsh swarupam ekam bhutam dvidha vibhajya एकमेक मधर्म पृथक तुष्णिम व्यवस्थाप्य अपरम परमधर्म चतुर्धा विभज्य स्वाधर्म नेषु अर्धेषु स्वभाग चतुष्टय संयोजनं कार्यम तदा पंचीकरणं भवति एतेभ्यः पंचीकृत पंचमहाभूतेभ्यः स्थूल शरीरं भवति.
Shall I read this shloka once?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Etesham panchatattvanam tamasamshat panchikrita panchatatvani bhavanti. Panchikaranam katamiti chet etesham panchamahabhutanam tamasamshasvarupam ekamekam bhutam dvidha vibhajya ekamatham prithak tushnim vyavasthapya अपरमपरमर्थं चतुर्था विभज्य स्वाधर्मन्येषु अर्धेषु स्वभागचतुष्टय संयोजनं कार्यम् तदा पंचीकरणं भवति एतेभ्यः पंचीकृत पंचमहाभूतेभ्यः स्थूलशरीरं भवति.
Will you be reading, Brahmaraji?
You can continue. I just wanted to chant the shloka because
sure.
there were some difficult words there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Etesham, of these, panchatattvanam, of the 5 elements, tamasashat, from the tamas aspect, panchikruta panchatatvani, grossified 5 elements, bhavanti, are formed. Panchikaranam, katham, how, iti chet, if asked, etesham, of these, panchamahabhutanam, of the 5 elements, tamasasha swarupam, from the tamas aspect,
It is tamasamsha, the tamasamsha swarupam.
Tamasasha swarupam.
No, there is a tamasamsha, right?
Sorry, tamasasha swarupam. Tamasasha swarupam.
Yeah, I think that visarga is missing there. It is actually tamasamsha swarupam. I think that is missing. That anuswara is missing there. It's okay. Please go ahead.
Tamasam, yeah,
That is tamasa amsha
tamasam,
swarupam.
tamasamsha, tamasamsha swarupam. Samsha, yeah, tamasamsha swarupam. Ekameka bhutam. Each element, dvidha vibhajya, divides into two equal parts. Ekamekam ardham. Each half. Pruthak, separate. Tushnim vyavasthapya, remains intact. Aparam ardham. Each other half. Chaturdha vibhajya, divides into four equal parts. Swadharma, the intact half. Aneshu ardheshu, to the other half. Swabhaga chatushtaya sayojanam karyam. 1/8 portion gets joined. Tada, then panchikaranam bhavati happens. Etebhya, from these, panchikruta panchamahabhutebhya, the grossified five elements. Sthula shariram, the gross body. Bhavati is formed. Etesham panchatattvanam tam samshat panchीकृततत्त्वानि भवन्ति पञ्चीकरणं कथम् इति चेत् एतेषां पञ्चमहाभूतानां तामसांशस्वरूपम् एकमेकभूतं द्विधा विभज्य एकमेकम् अर्धं पृथक् तूष्णीं व्यवस्थाप्य अपरम् अर्धं चतुर्धा विभज्य स्वाधर्म अन्येषु अर्धेषु स्वभाग चतुष्टय संयोजनं कार्यं तदा पञ्चीकरणं भवति एतेभ्यः पञ्चीकृत पञ्चमहाभूतेभ्यः स्थूलशरीरं भवति. From the tamas aspect of these five elements, the grossified five elements are born. If it is asked, can't read that. This panchikarana takes place. It is as follows.
How this?
If it is asked how this panchikarana takes place, it is as follows. The tamas aspect of each of the five elements divides into two equal parts. One half of each remains intact. The other half of each gets divided into four equal parts. Then, to the intact half of one element, 1/8 portion of each of the other four elements gets joined. Then, panchikarana is complete. From these five grossified elements, the gross body is formed. I'll read this again. From the tamas aspect of these five elements, the grossified five elements are born. If it is asked how this panchikarana takes place, it is as follows. The tamas aspect of each of the five elements divides into two equal parts. One half of each remains intact. The other half of each gets divided into four equal parts. Then, to the intact half of one element, the 1/8 portion from each of the other four elements gets joined. Then, panchikarana is complete. From these five grossified elements, the gross body is formed. Can everybody see the table? I don't know how I can read this.
Yeah, I think you read it already. Just for our own understanding.
That's
but
right.
then here it gives you that space is half, like it gives that, and then like you said, each of the 1/8 of the element from the other half is go connect with the space. So you will have all the 5 elements distributed, in each of those.
With five half of space,
Mm-hmm.
1/8 of air, 1/8 of fire, 1/8 of water, 1/8 of
The,
ether.
How
and
they are intertwined, no? Very nice.
earth, sorry,
right.
not
So
earth.
that's how you have to see it clearly,
Yeah.
so that so the predominant is a space half part, and whereas the other half 1/8, 1/8, 1/8. So that is of other elements, other 4 elements. Yeah, you can scroll up and see that picture of this one.
Yeah.
I wish it can come in one page together, so you can read this tanmatras. So here the whole
Yeah, in
thing,
the
the
first
stages.
whole thing is seen, tanmatras each in itself, the whole, and then
Mm-hmm.
tendency to divide into two equal parts. So it has divided into two equal parts.
Right.
Then they split complete. The split is complete. They get split. One half remaining intact, the other splits into four. So the other gets split into four. And then each half married with 4 bits borrowed from all the other. It's been shown clearly.
Yeah. So you can read the rest of it, and then they gave the percentage now. They gave 1/8, 1/2 like that. Now the percentage comes in this.
Tamoguna is, we'll read for maybe 2 more minutes. Or you want to do Manana over this? Because it's 6:80.
Maybe you could read it and see how
Yeah.
far you can finish this one. So
We
that
can,
we.
yeah. Tamoguna is characterized by inertia, that which cannot know itself or illumine another is inert. That which cannot activate itself is inert. The tamasic aspect of the 5 elements together undergo the process of grossification as explained in the chart 1 and 2. By their mutual intermingling, each element thereafter has 50% of its own element and 12.5% of each of the other four. Therefore, each of the gross elements has the qualities of all the others. These elements can thereafter be perceived by the senses. The permutation and combination of these forms the gross world, including the gross body. Tamoguna is characterized by inertia. That which cannot know itself or illumine another is inert. That which cannot activate itself is inert. The tamasic aspect of the 5 elements together undergo the process of grossification as explained in chart 1 and 2. By their mutual intermingling, each element thereafter has 50% of its own element and 12.5 of each of the other 4. Therefore, each of the gross elements has the qualities of all the others. These elements can thereafter be perceived by the senses. The permutation and combination of these forms the gross world, including the gross body. The vegetable you eat has a starch, protein, chemicals, earth, water content, its own heat, air, and occupies space. Even though water in its purest form is supposed to be tasteless, colorless, and odorless, we know that seawater tastes salty, appears blue, and has distinct smell. Our own body occupies space. We have plenty of air within us. The body has heat, and more than half of it is made up of water. There is the earth, food element, which makes up most of its weight. The gross body cannot function without the subtle body. When the subtle body leaves the gross body disintegrates and goes back to the five gross elements. As all the gross bodies have the same gross elements, no gross body can claim to be superior to another. All differences at the gross level are superficial. If this is understood, then all the conflicts due to caste, creed, color, sex, etc. would end. The relationship of individual with the total is now explained. This we can do tomorrow.
See,
We have
just
3 minutes.
by understanding these aspects, how much we can uplift ourselves in no time. It's so beautiful. Even dispassion comes so beautifully with the obsession with the body. Immediately you can go into dispassion with just this understanding of tanmatras and five elements and
Mrinal, you went to the other point. Okay, that's fine.
karmendriya and jnanendriya, isn't it? It's so powerful knowledge.
That's a whole knowledge. Madhuriji, learning about our own self, that all the body parts.
No, but this way, this karmendriyas, jnanendriyas, and its
uh,
tanmatras and five
uh,
elements, and uh, that clarity, no, it immediately makes you some
yeah,
shift in you to go into witness and
right,
uh, come into dispassion. Otherwise, we
right.
are
So
so much
as far
engrossed
as
with the
the
color and a pimple
justice,
आ गया face पे ऐसा हो गया, the hair is becoming
yes,
white and whatnot and whatnot. Oh my God.
yeah. To summarize, the sattvic aspect of the five elements is the organs of perception and antakarana. That's four: mind, intellect, chitta, and ego. And then the rajasic aspect is five karmendriyas, five pranas. And the tamasic aspect is the gross body.
Cross body.
And the causal body also, it's an unmanifest form of five elements and three gunas, or the qualities, which is the gunas in the causal body.
This again, I need some explanation. Maybe tomorrow or after 2-3 days we will discuss. Karan Sharira, how it is Trigunatmika and connected with the elements. We will discuss it later. Jai Gurudev.
Uh, should we say Shanti Mantra and Maya Panchaka?
Jai Gurudev.
Hmm.
So just before we wind up, from the sattvic and the rajasic aspects of the Panchamahabhutas, we get the Sukshma Sharira, which is a combination of all the Jnanendriyas, Karmendriyas, and the Pancha Prana, Pancha Vayavaha, and the Chittanta Karanani. All that constitutes the Sukshma Sharira. And the tamasic aspect of all the five elements, through the process of Panchikarana, form the gross body, the Sthula Sharira, and all the manifest world that we see, everything that we can perceive. But the unmanifest form of all of these, of all the Panchamahabhutani, the Karana Sharira also has, it's part of the part of the Maya, isn't it? It's from Maya. From Maya, all of this happens. So
yes.
the unmanifest form of all these 5 elements, it forms the Karana Sharira. And the manifestation, the sattvic and rajasic manifestation is the Sukshma Sharira. The tamasic manifestation is the Stula Sharira. But the very cause of all of this is the Karana Sharira. So in that nascent form, that is the Karana Sharira.
And what are those then? Are those the samskaras?
Which one?
Karana Sharira, the causal, unmanifest
Yes, yes.
elements.
So for that, we'll have to go back to the definition of Karana Sharira, right? Anirvachya Anadya Avidya Rupam. So it is beginningless. It is not describable. And it is the cause of the other 2 bodies. Without the Karana Sharira, you don't have the Stula and the Stula Sukshma Shariras. So it is the cause of the other 2 bodies, but it is indescribable. It is beginningless. So if we ask the question, where did it begin? Just like how avidya is. Avidya has no beginning. It only has an end. Once knowledge dawns, there is the destruction of the ignorance. So similarly, the Karana Sharira is that.
Is it also due to the swasya jnana se ajnana hai, sat swarup jnana
Yes,
se?
Sat Swarupa Jnana, yes.
That is
Like
the same
the
Karana
Kosha.
Okay, so that there is no rajas, tamas or sattvic particular for Karan Sharira, right, Brahmaraji?
It is a combination of all. It is an unmanifest combination of all of them.
Okay.
In the nascent seed form, so to say.
So Maya is the cause. For that also, Maya is the cause, right?
Is the
even for Karan Sharira.
Yes. Again, we go back to the train of thought. Brahmashraya Maya. Sattva Rajas Tamo Gunatmika Maya Asti. And from there come all the Pancha Mahabhutas. And from there come the Karana, Stula, Sukshma Shariras.
Very beautiful, Ray.
So today I just wanted to, I know we're coming close. It just occurred to me that we have completed 2 full years in doing this Manana. Is it 2 or 3 years? We started
2 years.
2 years completed.
Yeah, because
when was this? Today?
March 14th it was. Yeah.
Oh wow, we have
started off
anniversary
with
day.
Tatva Bodh, if I remember. We started off with Tatva Bodh and we've come back to a circle.
Tatva Bodh. Yeah, we had a full round.
Yeah.
This time the reading is so meaningful.
That's nice. You came back for 14th.
Yeah, we were going round and round nowhere. You have named it so beautifully.
That's nice. How was your thing, Dr. Brahmara? Your
it was all
course?
very good.
Yeah.
So shall we
one
close
of these
now?
days you have to spend a little time talking about it.
That when we
Yeah,
have
share
some
with
time.
us.
Right?
Yeah. Good,
so we
good.
close here today.
Can you see the screen here, Maya Panchaka?
Yes, we can see the screen.
Oh.
You want to do the Shanti part, Mrinal, and then you can play this.
Yeah. Sarve jana sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
निरुपमनित्यनिरंशकेऽप्यखण्डे मयि चिति सर्वविकल्पनादिशून्ये घटयति जगदीश जीवभेदम् त्वघटितघटना पटीयसी त्वघटितघटना पठीयसी माया श्रुतिशतनिगमान्तशोधकानपि अहह धनादिनिदर्शनेन सद्यः कलुषयति चतुष्पदाद्यभिन्ना न घटितघटना पठीयसी माया सुखचिदखण्डविबोधमद्वितीयम् वियदनलादिविनिर्मित्ते नियोज्य भ्रमयति भवसागरे नितान्तम् त्वघटितघटना पठीयसी माया अपगतगुणवर्णजातिभेदे सुखचितिविप्रविडाद्यहङ्कृतिं च स्फुटयति सुतदारकेहमोहम् त्वघटितघटना पठीयसी माया विधिहरिहरविभेदमप्यखण्डे बत विरचय्य बुधानपि प्रकामम् भ्रमयति हरिहरविभेदभावान् घटितघटना पठीयसी माया त्वघटितघटना पठीयसी माया